You're never going to guess what DC's done now. Go ahead, think about it. I'll wait. Okay. Well, DC did the one thing comic readers have been trained to give side eye to. They launched a brand new universe. It's a reboot, a reinvention. And the weird part is, it didn't land like, here we go. But it landed more like, okay, this is pretty cool. What's next? And that's really the story here. Not just that Absolute Batman hit big, it's that the Absolute Universe line kept pulling people in issue after issue in a market that's basically allergic to empty hype. So the question isn't, is this universe popular? The question is, why does this feel like it actually matters? I would say because it lines up perfectly with the thing I keep coming back to. And that is, gimmicks create moments, creativity creates loyalty. I know you've heard me say that over and over again, but let me be clear. This isn't a DC good, Marvel bad conversation. That's not analysis. That's a team mascot brawl. This is bigger than that. It's about a pattern the whole industry keeps repeating. And honestly, Marvel's own recent history makes the point better than anything I could say. So Marvel launched their new Ultimate Universe in 2023. Bold creative swings, creator-led direction, a clean entry point into reimagined versions of iconic characters. Sound familiar? It should. And it worked. Immediately and significantly, Ultimate Spider-Man, featuring an older married Peter Parker, routinely outsold the mainline Amazing Spider-Man title. The whole line was performing, and Marvel ended it in April 2026. Now, there's nuance there worth respecting. Architect John Hickman built the conclusion to his contract from day one, or at least that's what they say. But the larger signal is still there, and that is Marvel had proof. Their own sales data told them exactly what readers wanted, and the line ended anyway, while the mainline Peter Parker returned to his permanent holding pattern. Meanwhile, you had DC, who is announcing new absolute titles for 2026, teasing the line's first crossover event. Same starting point, different choices. Very different trajectories. And that's really the story here, right? And not just that Absolute Batman hit big, but that the Absolute Universe kept pulling people in, issue after issue, in a market that's basically pretty allergic to empty hype. So the question isn't, is this universe popular? The question is, why does this feel like it actually matters? Quick context for anyone who didn't live inside a comic shop last year. The Absolute Universe is a separate continuity that launched alongside DC's broader All-In initiative. It's a parallel universe, but DC didn't just shrug and go, multiverse stuff. They actually gave it a burst scene with actual stakes. And the DC All-In special Darkseid makes a nuclear play for power. The fallout rips open the new lane of reality, and that lane becomes the Absolute Universe, a world where the system is harsher, the villains hold the resources, and the heroes, well, they start as underdogs. So in plain English, the deck is stacked against them. And that's the premise. It turns the heroes upside down. And here's the part that matters most, though. DC didn't say, hey, new universe, goodbye, main line. They said, two story lanes, same bookshelf. And they meant it. Both lanes have consequences. Neither is DLC for the other. If you want classic continuity and legacy threads, you're covered. If you want, what if we rebuild this hero with no safety rails? Well, that's Absolute. And the early waves set the tone. Absolute Batman, Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. Absolute Wonder Woman, Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Absolute Superman, you have Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval. And then DC kept going. You have Absolute Flash, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Catwoman launching in 2026. First Absolute crossover events teased for Q4. This isn't a pilot. It's actually a publishing commitment. And that structure is the real point. Comics don't have to live in the dumbest binary of reboot everything, followed immediately by undo everything. Snyder's whole framing on this project is stop treating new and legacy like mortal enemies. Do both. Let them support each other. Okay, so all right. So why is this working? I don't mean why is it trending? I mean, why is it pulling people back month after month? I think it's a combination of five things, and together they hit the exact opposite of a cash grab psychology. One, it feels creator first, not spreadsheet first. Snyder keeps saying the quiet parts out loud. This line only works if creators come in with a real point of view, not a we need a Batman book, who's available. More like, here's the sandbox, what's your biggest swing? And readers can smell that difference immediately. When people call these books authentic and organic, what they really mean is, I don't feel like I'm being tricked into buying chapter 1 of an algorithm. Okay, number 2, the rule is simple. Burn it to the core. This is the absolute mission statement in plain language. Strip down the character all the way down to the DNA. Keep the core values. Everything else is negotiable. And that's why the changes don't feel like random shock value. They feel like a new foundation you can build on. Batman inverted, no billionaire armor, no system access, villains holding the resources. Wonder Woman re-mythologized with a wild new framing, but same core. And you have Superman reframed as less icon in a glass case and more an urgent symbol. Okay, number 3. It remembers how monthly comics are supposed to feel. Comics aren't Netflix. A monthly comic is a deal. Pay again next month, and I'll make that wait fun. So Absolute leans back into the stuff we all say we want. Each issue feels like a real meal, not a placeholder. The hero gets at least one "this is why they rule" moment. And it's absolutely awesome, right? I mean, you've seen them. There's something to talk about in every issue. There's enough recap to keep you from feeling punished for having a life. And it ends with a hook that actually hooks. That's not dumbing anything down. That's respecting your time and money. Okay, number 4. The spectacle is earned, not empty. Yes, Absolute Batman has wild, did you see that panels? But the key is, it doesn't feel like the book is only doing it to go viral. Snyder even admits some of the biggest moments were the ones he was worried would sink the series. Instead, those moments became the thing people showed their friends. And that's the real engine of a monthly comic. Conversation, curiosity, the urge to come back. Creativity, as you've heard, creates loyalty. The difference is whether that moment is a cheap spike or a payoff that makes you trust the next issue. Okay, moving on to number 5. It's sincere and unapologetic comics. Here's the Snyder barbell idea. Take the emotional stuff seriously, then go absolutely bonkers on the genre side. Big feelings, big visuals, big swings. That's not a bug. That's the medium. Absolute doesn't apologize for being dramatic. It leans in. I mean, this is where Absolute is cool because becomes Absolute as a signal. Because it didn't only pop once. It kept selling. The numbers as of late 2025, over 8.5 million units sold across the line. Absolute Batman alone accounts for nearly 3 million of those. Absolute Batman #1 has hit its 11th printing. Absolute Flash was the best-selling Flash comic since 1987. DC went back to press on every single Absolute title in early 2026. All 50 issues reprinted simultaneously. The demand never stops. Now, that's not a spike. That's a sustained line. New readers showed up and stayed. Retailers kept describing the line as energy, a world that sounds vague until you understand what it means in a dark market context. It means people are coming into stores specifically for these books. It means the wait between issues feels worth it. It means the conversation is still happening. Now, here's where the contrast with Marvel becomes impossible to ignore. While DC was expanding by adding title after title and announcing a first absolute crossover event for Q4 2026, Marvel was ending their own alternate universe line despite strong sales. And I want to be precise here because the details matter. Marvel's Ultimate Universe launched in 2023 under Jonathan Hickman. It was immediately one of the best-selling imprints. Ultimate Spider-Man, starring an older, married Peter Parker, routinely outsold the mainline Amazing Spider-Man. The Ultimates won IGN's Best Comic Book Series of 2024. The whole line was performing well. Marvel, though, ended it anyway. The nuance worth acknowledging, Hickman built the ending into his contract from day one. So this specific ending was planned and intentional, a story that concludes on its own terms rather than getting bled dry. That part is actually admirable, but zoom out and the pattern underneath is still there. Marvel had a version of Peter Parker that was outselling their flagship book. An older Peter, a married Peter, the exact version their editorial has spent 20 years insisting readers don't want. And the sales data said readers do want it, month after month. The line ended and Marvel has done nothing yet. Meanwhile, DC looked at their equivalent experiment, bold creative swings and a separate continuity, saw the same reader enthusiasm and responded by expanding the line. One publisher got the signal and built on it. One publisher got the signal and just filed it away. Remember, gimmicks create moments, creativity creates loyalty, and right now, only one of those publishers is building towards that loyalty. Here's the uncomfortable truth underneath all of this. For a long stretch, comics got used to outside forces raising the floor. Speculation waves, option culture, streaming money, adaptation heat. Now the market is tighter, which means the medium is to justify itself again. And absolute is one of the clearest modern answers to the question, why should I pay monthly for this? Because it's not treating the comic like a placeholder. It's treating the comic like the main event. That shift is why retailers keep describing the line as energy. Feels like the books are trying to earn you. I mean, this is where it snaps into the bigger argument running through all three of the videos that I've shown recently. Short-term thinking gets short-term spikes. But it also trains readers not to invest. And once readers stop investing emotionally, well, you're done. You can't buy that back with a relaunch or a variant cover or even a crossover. Absolute is the opposite of that pattern. It's saying, we're going to earn your attention. We're going to give creators room. We're going to make monthly comics feel like they matter. And the market responded in a way the industry hasn't seen in years. I mean, here's what I keep coming back to. DC really didn't do anything mysterious here. They didn't crack some secret algorithm or find a loophole in reader psychology. I mean, they basically did something almost embarrassingly simple. They let good creators make the things they actually wanted to make. They gave readers a clear entry point with no homework required. They delivered month after month and let the work earn the trust. I mean, that's it. That's the whole playbook. And the reason it feels radical is because the industry spent so long doing the opposite, chasing the short-term spike, resetting when things got complicated, treating readers like a renewable resource instead of an audience worth keeping. Absolute Batman #1 is on its 11th printing, and Marvel ended a line that was outselling their flagship Spider-Man title. The industry has the receipts now, both kinds. So if you've been reading Absolute, you already know the real question. Which book convinced you that this wasn't a stunt? I'd love to hear it, so drop it in the comments below. And if you're new here, well, welcome. And hit subscribe and stick around because this is exactly the kind of conversation this channel exists to have. And if you've been here a while, you already know the deal. Like the video If it earned it, share it if someone in your life needs to hear this argument. And let's keep building something worth showing up for. If you haven't checked out my other recent videos, the never-ending Spider-Man reboots or how Howard the Duck was forced into pants, you can check them out here at these links wherever they appear on the screen. And that's what I've got for you today. So as always, stay geeky, my friends. Stay geeky. And I'll see you later.